What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Dahlia. I'm Dahlia, and today we're in the kitchen. Alright guys, so today I'm meal prepping the lunches. So that means I'm making an extra large serving of the dish that I'm making. And today's dish is called Garlicky Turkey Kale Soup, which is, I guess, pretty straightforward. We're trying to do healthy. Seems healthy. It's got ground turkey, it's got kale, it's a soup. Can't really go wrong with that. So let's get started. So let's collect the ingredients. We need rainbow kale, which, I'll be honest, my grocery store doesn't sell. So rainbow kale will be replaced with regular kale, green kale. I don't know. It's kale. Should be the same, right? 1 pound orecchiette pasta. Now, I don't know about you, but my grocery store is not fancy. So they didn't have orecchiette pasta, which I guess orecchiette is like thick, round, hollow. I don't know. So instead of orecchiette pasta, I got some good old shells. Next, the recipe calls for 1/2 pound of ground turkey. Now, I don't know about you, but 1/2 pound is like enough for one person to eat for one meal. Maybe more, maybe like 2 meals, but I need to make 8 meals. So 1/2 pound turkey ain't gonna do it. So I went ahead and got 2 pounds ground turkey, 3 large cloves of garlic, extra virgin olive oil, brought from Spain. Ooh, fancy. 6 cups of chicken broth. Now, one of these is 4 cups, but I'm making 8 servings of this soup, so I'm probably gonna have to double it to even more, or not, because it only requires 1/2 pound of turkey sausage, so I don't know. We'll see. White beans. Now, this recipe is super duper ambiguous. White beans? Like, really? This recipe is from foodnetwork.com. Like, you think they would be a bit more specific about, like, what kind of bean you want, but I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to cook. But, like I said, I think this recipe is going to be very loosely followed because it's not up to par, if I'll be honest. 1 pint grated tomatoes, which I'm doubling for 2 pints. Salt and pepper to taste. And grated Parmesan. So, we'll start with step 1. Bring a large pot of water to a rolling boil. Add 2 tablespoons salt and kale and cook until tender 2 to 3 minutes. Cool under cold running water. Drain and squeeze gently to remove excess moisture. Chop coarsely and set aside. Geez, so much work for some stupid kale. Whoop. That wasn't set properly. Whoops, daisy. By the way, shout out to my amazing husband who tidied up the kitchen a little bit before I started filming today. Love you. Add 2 tablespoons of salt. Wow, that's a lot of salt. Okay. Weird. Cook pasta until al dente according to package directions. That is step number 2. So, I need like 2 large pots, apparently. Or like 3 large pots. Good gracious. Okay, so the water for the kale is getting boiled. I'm gonna need another pot for the pasta, but I'm thinking I'll probably just use that again. Meanwhile, warm the 1/3 cup olive oil. 1/3 cup olive oil is a lot. Over medium heat, add sausage and garlic and cook, stirring and breaking up meat with the back of a wooden spoon until browned. About 7 minutes. Add the kale and stir combined for 2 minutes. Season with salt. Okay, I see why you have to cook the kale first, because it needs to be chopped and put in there after the chicken or the turkey is cooked. So here's what I'm gonna do. First, I'm gonna cut some garlic, or chop some garlic. So it says 3 large cloves. This is not, you see this? This This is not a large clove. So I'm gonna not really count that one. Let's see. God, I hate this garlic skin. So annoying. 2, 3. I'm also doubling this, but I don't know if I'm gonna double the liquid. 6 cups is kind of a lot for a ½ pound of turkey, 2 cups of kale, a pound of pasta. I mean, the pasta is gonna be the bulk of that. But still, the more garlic, the better, right? So that's what I'm gonna do. We'll have all these garlics. What you guys think? Is that enough? I will try. Okay, now I'm gonna turn this around so you can watch me chop my garlic really badly. Get rid of these stupid skins. Doop. Chop the ends off and smash. That is the trick to peeling garlic. It doesn't make it any easier, but that's the way it goes. Chop and smash. Away with you, skin. Little bitty one, which I hate chopping because it's stupid. Smash. Ugh, this is so annoying. Okay. What does it say? The garlic needs to be minced. Okay, well, I don't have a mincer, so I'm gonna have to mince it by hand, which is annoying, but such is life. Okay, well, you're not gonna cooperate, I see. So yesterday, you guys can't even see me. I don't know if I like this angle. Yeah, that should do. As long as nobody bumps the chair. All right, yeah, you can kind of see me a little better now. That's better. So, what was I saying? Yeah, yesterday? No, the day before yesterday. The other day. My husband and I watched the movie Jojo Rabbit. And if you've seen commercials for this movie, it's interesting. Like, it looks real stupid, if I'm being totally honest. The premise of the movie is about, it tells the story of a young German boy who is like sort of a zealous, what did they call like the youthful Nazi groups? I don't know. Anyway, he thought he was a zealous Nazi. And then lots of things happen and he realizes that maybe the Nazis are not so good. So it's a movie that has like a really deep message, but it's also a movie that has a really dark message. So it's one of those movies that's like a dark comedy that really makes you kind of think, it makes you laugh, but also feel like, oh my God, why am I laughing at this kind of thing. But you wouldn't know that it was such a like deep movie from the commercial because, or the trailer, because the trailer makes it look so slapstick and so stupid, but like the trailer can't cover what the movie's about because it's, if it does, then it sort of gives it away, if that makes sense. So I mean, I didn't feel like I would enjoy that movie because I don't like slapstick movies. I think they're dumb. But this was not slapstick. It was very smart, very smartly made. I mean, there were some slapstick moments where you're just like, roll eyes. But all in all, it was a very thoughtful movie. It was a very thought-provoking movie with great, likable characters. Very interesting and also really sad. But without, like, making you want to cry, if that makes sense. Because it's about the Holocaust, and it's about Nazis, and it's about, you know, the Jews being persecuted. So, anyway, if you haven't watched it and you saw the trailer and you thought, I'm not gonna watch this, it looks dumb, watch it. It's a really good movie. It really is, and I highly recommend that one. You won't regret watching it. I realized that, like, kind of the way that I said that is, like, not super enthusiastic, but I don't know why I don't feel enthusiastic right now, but it is a good movie, so do check it out if you like historical movies and if you like dark comedies. How's this water doing? Getting there. I put a lot of water in there. surprised it's heating up so fast, actually. Good for you, water. All right, so it's only gonna take 2 to 3 minutes for that kale to cook. Do I have to wash this? Washed and ready to eat. I love it when they do that. Okay, so that's gonna go in the water once it's in a rolling boil. Cool under cold running water. So let me go ahead and get a colander ready. Dishes aren't done. It's fine. I'm making soup. I can do it while soup's cooking. Then 1/3, I still can't get over 1/3 cup of olive oil. That is so much olive oil. Add the kale, stir, season with salt. After that, in a medium pot, heat 6 cups of chicken broth to a low simmer. Add 1/2 cup of white beans and heat through about 2 minutes. I'm trying to decide how many pans, because I don't want to use that many pans, and I need like a pot for the pasta, a pot for the kale, a pot for the soup, and then something to cook the turkey in. That's like 4 things. I don't want to wash 4 things. Are you crazy? So I'm gonna double that up as kale and pasta. And then I can cook the turkey in the actual soup pot, which might taste better anyway. So such a strange recipe. Cook sausage and kale. Okay, I guess this soup doesn't have to simmer. This is a pretty simple soup. So, let's see. What kind of pot do I have here? Yes, I will use my big giant Dutch oven style pot because it is non-stick and is huge and it works great. Maybe I'll switch these. Go. In there. 1/3 cup of olive oil. Like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm not using that much olive oil just for some turkey. Are you crazy? Whoopsie. Okay. So we're cooking the turkey and the garlic together. It's supposed to be turkey sausage, but like, there's no seasonings in this recipe. So obviously it's counting on the sausage to be seasoned. But I'm not gonna buy a sausage and then take it out of the casing and then cook it. Like, why would I do that? That's like extra work. So I'm just gonna cook ground turkey with some spices. How about that? All right, so in that case, let's pick some spices. Oregano, crushed red pepper, onion powder, salt, pepper, maybe some thyme. A little bit of thyme. Whoop. That should probably do. Okay. So now comes the kind of gross part. I hate these tubes because you have to like cut them open or like rip them open or like squeeze it out. I don't know. What do you do with this stuff? I like packages that have easy open tabs. This does not, and therefore I do not like it. You guys probably want to see this part because it's fun. Alright, don't mind my funky angles today, guys. I'm learning as I go. Alright, so watch me enjoy opening this weird bag of ground turkey. Ugh. 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 So afraid I'm going to cut my fingers off. Oh my god. Why is this so difficult? Ew. Okay. Touching it. Oh, touching it, you guys. Yuck. Okay. The thing about these freaking bags too is that, like, how do you get everything out? I know it's supposed to come out like a tube, but cut this part open too. That should probably help. Put that not there. Oh, the water's boiling. Check that out. Ew, look at it. It's in a tube. That's so gross. So let's take a 1 spoon. Mash it up. This is where you get all of your stress of the day out. This is gross. Am I am not used to eating ground meat out of a tube. Okay, well, that looks sufficiently gross. I'll use some seasoning. Don't be afraid to season your meat, friends. Obviously, there's a limit, but you don't want to under-season because that's never good. Onion powder, crushed red pepper, and some thyme. Garlic goes in. So I'm going to put the kale in. Oh, it's already chopped. I probably don't even need to chop it. I guess this recipe counts on you having whole kale, which I don't have. Oopsie. I didn't put salt in this water. 2 tablespoons of salt. Like, who needs that much salt? Good gracious. You know, I'll be generous, I guess, but 2 tablespoons is a lot. Ugh. Oh no. This always happens. Always make a mess. Okay. That only needs like 2 to 3 minutes. It's like spinach, although there's some like big chunks in there. Why? Why are there even in there? Okay, we'll let that do its thing. Okay. Bring this guy up some more. God, for ground turkey, it's really producing a lot of juice. This stuff looks like meat pate. I don't know what the quality of this particular brand of ground turkey is, you guys. We'll see. I don't think I need to chop that kale afterwards, so that's nice. We are recording, right? Yeah, okay, good. We're at 28 minutes. I was like, oh no, what if it didn't work? But it's working, so we're good. So once that turkey is done, the kale goes in. So because there are some pretty thick pieces in there, and this is like coarse kale, I'm gonna go ahead and let that cook for maybe a little longer than 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, nobody wants to eat the stem of the kale. Come here. It's looking pretty good though. Ooh! Ooh! It's overflowing. It's looking pretty good. Let me get a fork for those big parts. Yeah, no, those are definitely not gonna fly. I might have to pick out those parts. Give this a stir. Oh my, what, you guys see how much juice is coming out of this turkey? What kind of turkey did I have? 85% lean, I think it was? Wow. I can't even see the spices. I feel like I need to add more. I really need to drain this turkey. Looking fairly tender. I don't super understand why we have to saute the kale. Like, boil it first and then saute it. That doesn't make any sense. But it is what it is. I try to follow recipes, but sometimes they just don't make sense. Ugh, it's so liquid. Do you guys see how liquidy that is? I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to show you. Like, look at it. Look how much liquid is in there. It's so strange. Is it because it's poultry? I don't cook with ground turkey that often, you guys, so I don't know if this is, like, normal or if it's just bad quality. I don't know. Anyway, I plan to drain it before it goes into the soup. So the kale's looking okay. Go ahead and take care of that. Don't mind the dirty sink, the dirty dishes, which I will clean eventually one day. Came out in one clump. How about that? So 2 pieces we want to scrape over here. Then I'll get another pot boiling for the pasta. Okay, that's going back on. Right to a boil. Supposed to rinse this off with cold water. But you know what? This is soup, so these big chunks, well, this one has no business. See this? Nobody wants to eat this. This one has no business being in my pot of soup, so I'm gonna throw it away. I'll leave some of those big chunks in because it is soup and it bears some texture. Now, my plan right now is to, whoa sir, this thing is being a little obstinate. Okay, so my plan right now is to drain all this grease, or even, what is it? Turkey water. And get that out because I don't want a fatty soup. I apologize for today's video because I appear to be all over the place. But that's life, isn't it? I don't think I really am in just one place. Draining goes. Ooh, it actually smells pretty good. Okay, cool. That's done. Ooh, it actually does smell pretty good, you guys. You hear that dripping sound? That's all the grease dripping from the bottom of the turkey. It's dripping for a long time. You never get your break. Whoa, sir. Can you please not? Back in. Alright, so now what? The kale and the turkey are supposed to go frying together, if I recall correctly. Alright, I'll just fry these guys up real quick. That's a lot of kale. The recipe only calls for 2 cups of kale, isn't it? Pretty sure I put in like 6. But hey, a high fiber lunch. Kinda wish I had more turkey though. Wow. Supposed to fry for 2 minutes together, then season with salt. I think my husband's gonna be mad because the ratio of meat to vegetables is not very high. Almost there with the pasta water. Let's give it a stir. Break up the big chunks. Make sure there's enough ground turkey to go around. Let's give it a taste. Try this bit here. Tastes like turkey. Like ground turkey. Yeah, you know, I don't think that brand of ground turkey is particularly good because it tastes very, what is the word? Meaty, I guess. So I'm gonna add some more spices to that. Here's some more oregano. Some thyme. Onion powder. I kind of wish I'd put more garlic in there too. A little bit of crushed red pepper. Salt. I feel like my giant salt grinder. Isn't that cool? I have a matching pepper one. Alright, give it a stir. Okay, you know what? Rather than taking the meat and the kale out of the pan and putting it back in once the broth is hot, I'm just gonna pour the broth in and cook it while it's in there. Because I don't have time. Or rather, I do have time, but I don't have time for extra dishes. That's what I don't have time for. Pasta water's almost there. Let's see how 4 cups go. That's 4 cups. I'm thinking at least 8 is probably going to do, especially with the pasta. We'll see though. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I think we're definitely going to need more broth for the pasta. It's a good thing because I always keep chicken broth on hand for situations like this.
I do fear that the kale is gonna sort of disintegrate in the pot while it's boiling, but you know what, to be honest, don't even really need to like boil it because it's just gonna go into Tupperware because these are lunches. So, but I do kind of want to know what it tastes like. The spices are floating in there pretty nice though. It's kind of a boring stew. It's like nothing in it but kale and turkey. Oh, I forgot about the beans. I knew there was something missing. Drain. Can number 2. It says, what does it say? I think it says a half cup of beans, but like, that's not gonna do nothing in this situation. So I'm gonna go ahead and like quadruple that. Whoop. There, that makes it look a little bit more substantial, don't you think? Yeah, that's better. That doesn't look half bad. What do you guys think? Water's ready. And in go the shells. Take my spaghetti spoon, give it a stir, make sure nobody's sticking to the bottom. Not high enough. It's on a decent level height. Don't I have a spoon already? Yes, I do. Put that in the wash. Taste that broth. Oh, that's not half bad actually. You know what? I am gonna let it get warm because I want to taste what's like warm.
Well, and now we wait. Okay, so you guys, I just realized the recipe includes grape tomatoes, but there's literally no instructions as to when they go in. So it's very curious. And the cheese doesn't get applied at all. I think it's just a topping probably, but like, this recipe kind of sucks. So let's go ahead and quarter some tomatoes. I started putting away dishes, that's why there's a lot of random stuff here. Hold on one second. Alright, so I need to wash these. Good, it's got it. Okay. I don't know how you quarter these. I guess like half, half. Half and half. This is gonna take forever. My least favorite thing is chopping. I don't know how this is going to turn out because I'm not a big fan of cooked tomatoes. I should probably stir my pot over here. Okay, that's one. Ooh, those are actually really tasty tomatoes. Yeah. I almost don't want to waste them by putting them in the soup. I'm not a big fan of cooked tomatoes, if I'm being totally honest. I think I told you that before when I made the meatloaf pepper slice things. Choppy choppy. Ooh, it's a fat one. Let me check on this pasta, see how it's doing. How you doing, pasta? You doing good? Needs some time. Nearly cut my finger off on that one, but
I didn't. So I'm safe. Almost done. Save me. Okay. I did it, you guys. Okay. Pasta is ready. Alright, so the pasta's ready. Ta-da! So I'm gonna go ahead and, where's my camera? There it is. It's on the opposite side as usual. That's why I'm so confused. Okay, so, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm gonna drain the pasta. Should be easy peasy. This. Oh, and this is boiling. Turn that down. Hey, no! Rude. Why? Do you guys see this? Like, yeah, you guys see those little tiny bits of turkey? I don't know, man. I think I got some low Q ground turkey. What can you do? Okay, so the noodles are done. Look at my noodles. Yay. There's a bit of kale in there. That's why it's green. Don't be alarmed. The soup is boiling. So I think the last step, really, is to give it a taste. Put the tomato in. Let the tomato cook for just a little bit because I don't want it to get, like, goopy. If that makes sense. And then it'll be done. I'll serve it into my little Tupperware serving bowls and give it some Parmesan topping. Let's give it a taste first, though. See how it goes. Does it need more seasoning? Oh, you know, that actually tastes pretty good. Not bad. All right, so I'm gonna throw the grapes in. Grapes. Grapes. Give it a stir. Kind of like that Papa Red. That's nice. A little bit of diversity in the visual appeal. I kind of wish I had more tomatoes, actually, but I think it's good. Okay, I'm gonna give it like a minute, 2 minutes. I have no idea, actually, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it and see how it looks, and then we can go from there. It's really dark. Okay, hey, hello, welcome back. So it has been cooking for maybe like, gosh, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. But the tomatoes are real soft and it's looking pretty good. So I think it's pretty much done. So what I'm gonna do now is put the pasta in the soup, give it a stir, and then let it cool so that I can put in put it in my Tupperwares. I don't wanna make a big splash though. Okay, let's not. I might overflow the pot, if I'm being totally honest. Perhaps that's why I thought I wouldn't. Woo! That's pretty full. Pretty full, huh, guys? Alright, I'm going to very carefully give it a stir. Very carefully. Oh, yeah, with all this pasta, like, that was a lot. And you know, the original recipe called for 1 pound, and that's what that box was. That was 1 pound. This is 1 pound of shells. Holy moly, I wish I'd done like half. Wow. It is now more like a soupy macaroni and no cheese, which is the worst kind of macaroni. Oops! I spilled. I can turn this off now. So, I mean, I guess it's not so bad. It's just a lot of macaroni, and that's not what I wanted. But it looks pretty good, and it smells pretty good, and it tastes, I gave a taste of the broth, and it tasted pretty good, so it's okay. If you're like a beginner chef, like this is not a great recipe for you because it sort of doesn't explain anything, and it gives you weird proportions. Like, what does it say? 1 pound of pasta for a ½ pound of ground turkey, and only, what is it, 6 cups of chicken broth? Like, that's not gonna do it. So this recipe is just kind of a meh for me, but it was pretty easy to make. And if you are an experienced chef, then you can probably figure out what the right proportions are for your soup. Like, I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? It looks kind of Italian, right? I guess so. Meh. Well, anyway, the first time I'll be eating it as an actual meal is tomorrow, so I will let you know what it tastes like afterwards. Okay, guys, so as expected, I left it to sit so that it could cool a little bit, the soup. But as expected, after putting the pasta in, it's absorbed quite a lot. Not a lot, but it's absorbed some of the broth, so it's looking a little less soupy than I would like. But I think what I'm going to do about this is put it in the Tupperware and pour some more broth over it, because luckily they have extra, which is always good to have, chicken broth. So chicken broth, garlic, and onions. Those are all 3 things that I always have in my pantry for this reason, among others. Okay, so this is the final product in its little Tupperware. This is my meal prep Tupperware for lunchtime. As you can see, it's kind of more like a soupy pasta than anything else. The proportions are way off. Oops, sorry about my fingers. I'm not using my stick today. So, as you can see, there's like way too much pasta. Like, isn't that ridiculous? I would have put way less pasta if I had been thinking clearly, I guess. I would have put way less pasta and more meat. But it is what it is. The flavors are okay. I mean, it might have been better if I'd used turkey sausage. I don't know. Ground turkey is fine. It's plenty flavor with the spices I put in. But if you don't put spices in, then it's not going to taste like anything at all. So that sucks. All in all, I give this recipe like a 4 out of 10 because it's super ambiguous. The proportions are super off. And even after modifying it, like everything is weird. Like, can you imagine if I actually had 6 cups of liquid and 1 pound of pasta? Like, this is 1 pound of pasta. Obviously, you know, this is 1 serving of 1 pound, but you know what I mean? Like, and I put in, how many cups did I put in? I think I put in like 8 cups. No, because I used an extra carton. So I put in like 12 cups. I doubled the amount of chicken broth in this soup, and it's still not enough. So this recipe sucks. 10 out of 10, don't recommend. But it was a good experience. And it's a relatively healthy recipe in spite of all of the pasta in it. So, those are my 2 cents. Gonna add some Parmesan to it. Have it for lunch. Maybe I'll add a little salt too for an extra bit of flavor. That's it.